Hello and welcome to episode 49. I'd better just read it, right? This is Friday the 7th of August and I am Maja and you can find me as sjomajlin online. I'm at Ravelry and Instagram and YouTube. Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for all the feedback on online. I did post the regular episode last week and then I got hold of the vacation footage of first me and my brother and then me and my mom. And I felt as though the episode that I recorded last week was pretty long as it was. And then when I got that footage it was pretty long. So I thought I'd just put it up there as like a bonus episode because it was as long as like a normal episode, so if I would have... It would have been a very, very long episode if I had edit them together. So I did that. Hopefully you liked it, or otherwise you don't have to watch. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's the episode 48, where first me and my brother talk about some woodwork. I will show you my cup in a minute, and then me and my mom talk to some length about knitting and yarn and crafting. So yes, it was a 2-episode kind of week. I'm getting close to my anniversary. The first video was uploaded on 15th of August. So that will be next Saturday, not tomorrow, but next Saturday. That's exciting and crazy. Well, yeah. I've had a good week. I started working on Monday, which was... I like my work and it's good getting back into the routines and everything, but still vacation is kind of good. I'm very tired. I'm usually kind of a tired person, I guess. I have some sort of myalgia? I don't know what it's called in English, but some ache in my body, some pain in my joints and my muscles, which makes me tired. And the HSP also makes me tired, and now I'm on medication for depression, which also makes me tired. And since I was on sick leave last winter, I haven't really, I'm usually pretty tired compared to a lot of other people, but since last winter I'm not really up to my usual level, so I'm very tired, and starting work again is kind of hard. I have been able to do a lot of work from home this week, which, I'm still doing the hours and I'm still getting the work done and everything, but it's a very good way for me to be able to lower the threshold to get back to work. So that is very good. And also I did mention last week that I had a cold, and my throat was pretty rustly. Do you say that? So I was thinking that last week I should have started, singing, because that is what I do for a living. And even though I'm never really not singing, but over the vacation I'm not really singing, hours every day. So I was thinking that I should get, warmed up to get back into using my instrument, because both the vocal cords and the muscles are a bit relaxed, which is good in itself, but I need to get back now. And I wasn't able to because I kept coughing, and that... I don't know how much you guys know about vocal cords, but they are very thin little strips of phlegm, pretty much. Well, not, well, kind of. And, well, the scientists aren't really sure how they are actually able to allow for us to make such strong noises as we are able to produce with our vocal cords. And they are pushed together like that, and then we breathe through them. And so we can use our muscles to do sort of this with our vocal cords. You know, almost like if you have a balloon and then you pull and let air out, it will vibrate. That is pretty much what our vocal cords are doing. But they are much more fragile than the plastic, rubber, whatever it is in a balloon. So when you're coughing, you push gust of air through the vocal cords that it sort of hits on them from below. So the edges will be, well, they will break, and there will be, instead of looking like that, which isn't very tight, but they will be looking sort of like that instead of, you get what I mean? So there will be leakage of air going through, and as long as you're coughing, which is of course when you are being hoarse, that air is leaking through. And so as long as you're coughing, they can't heal properly because you are like beating them with every cough. And you sort of need to be able to stretch and make them be as tight. And then all of us are different, obviously, as with everything. So all our vocal cords are a bit different, but to have not that hoarse, some people like that hoarse type of singing, and that is fine. But to not have that, you need to be able to keep your vocal cords pretty tight against each other. And yeah. So last week I was coughing, so I wasn't able to start getting into my, well, warming up the instrument. So sorry if you heard that. The neighbor has got some sort of a moped electric car that he parks just outside my window. Yes, on Tuesday I had my first singing gig after the vacation, and I had planned, as I said, to warm up properly before that. Okay, tangent. The thing is, if you're not really used to be singing, you should preferably do some warming up, some proper warming up, both of the vocal cords and like your throat and your muscle in, well, all of your body, but mainly your torso, but yeah, to be prepared and to be in your best condition. What I find when I sing, you know, for work, like hours every day, is that I don't really need to put a lot of, or spend a lot of time warming up, because that is, you know, my body is sort of tuned to, this is what we do, so I don't really need to do a lot of warm-up to be where I need to be. Then if I need to do something, so a lot of the gigs that I do for work are very relaxed, so I don't really need to, you know, reach those super high notes or anything. If I'm in a position or a situation where I want to, you know, really perform my very best, I will spend time doing those warm-ups. But I usually don't need to, like for work. But since I've had the summer off, or quite a few weeks off now for the summer, I need to get back. Am I making sense? Well, I didn't have the opportunity to do that because I was cold. I had a cold. But on Tuesday I had my first singing gig, and I warmed up a bit in the car going there, and I was like, it'll be, you know, a bit rusty, do you say that? And there's not really much I can do about that. But then since Tuesday I've been making sure both Wednesday, or well, later on Tuesday and then Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, I've been singing for a good few hours each day to get ready. And what I'm finding is that my body is adjusting very, very good. And it's going much quicker than it has done last summer and the summer before that. So that makes me very happy. That was my point, and now you know. So today I did my second gig after the summer, which was the first at that place where, excuse me, where I am off every Friday and we are singing about Pippi Longstocking, Pippi Longstrump. And it's always just making me so happy, so I'm in a good mood. I'm ready to start the weekend. I'm very tired, as I said. And I will get to the knitting soon, guys. The weather was better this week as well, which is good. And I've been out picking raspberries and blueberries in nature. And I bought some strawberries as well. I didn't pick them myself, actually. So I've been eating a lot of fresh berries this week, which is... it just makes me feel so rich. And yesterday, me and my friend went out to their cabin. I went out in the woods with her dad and picked mushrooms. We picked chanterelles. Do you say that? So I came home with a good basket. I think it was like 4 liters of chanterelle. And I parboiled them to be able to freeze them in, and I had a kilo worth of parboiled chanterelles that I put in my freezer. So I feel so rich, you know. The downside was that it took me quite a long time to get those mushrooms prepared. So I think I was done at 1:30 this morning. So yeah, I'm a bit tired. And I just managed to untie the knot on my ankle bracelet. Never mind, I'm putting it there. Okay, I have some FOs this week. I did finish the embroidery, which is a saying in Swedish. I don't know, can you see the back? I did post a picture of the back onto Instagram. Thinking that it looks like some other language. Someone commented thinking it was Hebrew. It looks very interesting. I did iron on this sjomajlin, do you say that? So it's a bit stiff and not as... well, it is a bit see-through, but it's not... you're not seeing the raw backside. So, whoa, sorry, this is the front. So as I said, it's in Swedish, so it's a saying about tax. It's something like, do you know that there is something that is called tax? That grown-ups pay every day so that we are able to have daycares, what do you say, like kindergarten, and schools and hospitals. That's good. Everyone pays as much or as well as they can. Some pay a lot and other pays less. It doesn't really translate. And that is how it's done when we help each other. Because when we help each other, we earn the most, or we make the most. Because when everyone's happy, we're at our best. But in Swedish it's rhyming and it's a better rhythm to it as well. So I just made up these... it's on an Ida cloth, as you can see, but it's not cross-stitch, it's just like straight letters. So this was, someone had ordered, or had wanted me to make one of these a very long time ago, and I said, yeah, sure, I will. And I didn't get around till now. So it will be handed over at some point, but now it's done. And then I also have, excuse me, a spinning FO. I mentioned last week when I recorded that I had ordered some extra bobbins for my wheel. And that I hadn't picked them up yet, but I had gotten a text that day saying that I could go pick them up at the, what's the word, post. And with those bobbins I had ordered some fiber. So it was like what's the word? I know this word. A braid. It was pretty much a braid, but it wasn't braided. It was just like wound up in a big, like a hank. So I did braid it just to have for easier managing. But it was pretty much a braid, and I don't know what it is. It's just 100% wool, but I don't know what blend, what breed or anything. In this kind of olive green, so I did a 2-ply, which is. I mean, it's not perfect, but this might be one of the best that I've done so far. I feel as though I'm getting more and more accomplished in my spinning, which is very nice to see and to feel. And this turned out to be 265 meters, and it's just over 100 grams. So this will be going to my mom as a gift. And then there was just a little single left on one of the bobbins, and I left it as a single. So it's just, you know, the tiny little, so. But I was thinking she'll have this with this if there is something, you know, and there's, so this is the single and it's not 2-ply, but, you know, if there is like 3 stitches left of the bind off and the yarn is out, then she could use this. And I don't really have any other use for it, so. And then I have a knitting FO. I did finish my Linus shawl out of cotton. Let me see, so I hold it up in the right way. So it's this kind of, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Boomerang shape shawl. So this end is very long and narrow, and this end is a bit wider when you knit it, but obviously it's narrow as well. I did do this lace detail at the edge, which is just yarn overs and a double, what's it called? A double center decrease, is that what it's called? You slip 2 as if to knit 2 together, knit 1 and slip stitch, slip the slip stitches, what do you say, slip the lifted stitches over for that. Well, yeah, anyway. So, as I said, I finished this and I'm very happy with it. Even though it's cotton, since it is garter stitch, and I mean, I did knit this on size 3 mils, so it's not tiny. So it's pretty, you know, squishy, and there's some warmth in it as well. And yeah, I'm happy with it. So those are the FOs that I have. And then I have some works in progress. I haven't cast on anything new since last week, except for, but it's in the same project still. So I did finish the mitten part. I still have to go back and do the thumb. But the mitten part of my first Gudrun mitten. And so I started the second one, and I tried. Because I started, and I keep kicking my table. I started this rainbow yarn, which is the Opal Surprise. That Opal Surprise. Started with the blue, and then it ended with the purple. So I was thinking I might as well just, because I usually don't really care about matching up this sort of thing, but since it was almost one repeat, I was thinking I'd rip out some and then start the second one in the blue as well. So I did, and I started it right there, obviously. And you can see on the lower part there, you can see that the yellow starts in different places. I had started this second one, I had started earlier in the blue. So that bothered me. So I did rip. You can see on this one, there is a wider yellow section compared to this one. I did rip out there for with the intention to make it line up better. And I think I'm pretty much spot on, which is good. So I'm thinking that, because I don't have a lot left of this blue, so the idea from the beginning actually, because I knew I didn't have a lot of that, so that is why I did do the cuff in this pink one, and I'm thinking that I will do the thumb with that pink as well. But I'm not, you know, with this long color repeat, I will not rip out an entire color repeat to match the thumbs in the opal yarn, so they probably won't match, but that'll have to be fine. So yeah, they're coming along. I have some work left to be done, obviously, but I'm enjoying this so much. And once again, this is, the pattern is called Gudrun Mittens. They are a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Instructions are, the color work is charted, but there are some written instructions which are available both in Swedish and in English. The designer's name is Maria Larkeng, which might be hard to find. You can go through my projects page if you want to find it. It's not very well updated at all. But there is a project up there for the first ones that I made last summer, which are one of the yarns is purple and one of the yarns is kind of green and white striping. And then I also did post the pink ones that I've made in that, I posted a picture of that into that project as well. So if you go through there, if you want to find the pattern, you'll find it there. Yeah. As I said, my Ravelry page, I don't know, I don't really know why, but I just lost my patience with the Ravelry, with updating my Ravelry page, and maybe it'll come back. Yeah, I have some more stuff to show you, but let me just... There is a podcast, or a group for the podcast on Ravelry as well, which some of you have found, and I thank you very, very much for introducing yourself. It makes me so happy to read. I've chosen not to answer each post in the introductions thread, which now sort of feels really bad, but if I were to answer everyone, there would be so many... I don't know, I thought it would be too, I don't know, messy, so I decided not to, which... I've read it all, and I very much appreciated those of you who took the time to introduce yourself. It's very special for me to read. However, and I've said this a million times before, the Ravelry group is not very active, and I am not making any effort to make it more active. I think that there are so many forums and groups and threads to write in and be active in. I'm not convinced that there is a need for more groups. And I'm thinking, as I said, it's up there. If you want to use it, you are very welcome to use it. I'm checking it every day, you know, or my Ravelry account to see if someone messaged me or if someone posted anything in the threads, and the other groups that I'm part of as well, or a member of. So you are very welcome to use it, but there is not a lot of things going on there because I feel as though there is probably not really a need for it. But obviously, if you do have a question to me, or, you know, asking about a pattern or whatever, feel free to use the group if you want to. Okay. Then we have the twined knitting and the mitten that I've started. I worked 2 rows on it. Impressive, huh? You can't really see because it's still, you know, sort of curling up on itself. But you can see that it's starting to be stripy lengthwise. So the thing is, twined knitting is slower than regular knitting. And since it is a new to me technique, it's double slow. And that is why I'm not really patient with it, honestly. But I mean, I'm not bored with it or anything. I want to learn, and I want to finish this mittens, and I will. And I'm having a good time doing it, but it's just not, this is not my go-to knitting, because I sort of got the technique down, you know, but it's not as relaxed as some of my other knitting. So yeah, and here comes the moped car again, if you can hear it. On the gravel. No, I don't know. You hear that, right? And then I have the frozen leaves shawl that I am knitting out of some Tosh lace. It has had some progress to it. I don't really know how much, but it's coming along. There are some leaves. I don't know how well you can see, because it's well, I wouldn't say it's busy, but it's sort of busy, I guess, the yarn. But I think it's, as I've said before, I believe the colorway is called Sea Wash, and I think that is sort of what it looks like. So to me this is, I guess it is sort of busy, but it is calming in the way that, you know, the sea is, even if it's busy and there are, you know, waves washing up on the rocks, and there's movement and there is, you know, stuff going on, but it's still very relaxing. And that is exactly what this colorway says to me, or what it gives me. I think it shows up a bit too light or bright. I think it's just a few, you know, degrees darker. Well, sort of like that, I guess. But there are lots of different nuances and tones of different colors in there, and I really, really like it. Oh, and I just snagged the yarn on the zipper. So, so yeah, you can't really see the leaf pattern, but I'm kind of happy with the yarn pattern combination anyway, actually, because I think it's just, it's airy, it's lofty, and I like it. Yeah, so those are currently my 3 works in progress. The gilded mittens, the twined knitting mittens, and the shawl, since I finished this. And I have a plan to cast on a pair of socks, like just plain socks, because all of these 3 projects are, I mean, one is lace knitting, one is twined knitting, and one is stranded colorwork. So they aren't mindless knitting, any of them. So I'm thinking that I will cast on a pair of pretty plain, I haven't really decided yet, but more or less plain socks, just to have something like a go-to knitting. And then I've been doing some work at the wooden cup that you saw me and my brother talking about. It smells good. It's not done yet, so I've been, what do you say, sanding it with sandpaper. Do you say that? So to, well, polish. It's not polishing. I guess you know what I mean. So it's looking much smoother, but I'm not there yet. And you can see I have, well, it's still dark inside. It won't really come off, and like on your fingers or anything. I will sand a bit more inside, but I've gotten a lot of it out. And it doesn't really, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all that it will be darker inside, but I'm thinking I will make it a bit more even on the inside as well. And as I made this, I had a branch right here that I'm trying to make for a flat surface for this to be able to stand on, and it's not really at the right angle just yet, and I've been trying to work on it with a very tiny saw that I have, because I absolutely don't have any like woodwork tools at home. So I'm trying to sand it down, and yeah, I don't know, I work on it a little bit here and there, and then I put it away because it's, you know, it's so, I need to clean afterwards. I need to pull out the vacuum and my little handy vacuum, of course, and clean afterwards, and you know, wash my hands, and there will be like sawdust, or what do you say, like wood dust everywhere. So then when I'm done for you know, for now, I will put it away, and then it will be some time before I pick it up again, because it's not as easy to just pick up and go as with knitting, just because of the dust of it. But it's coming along okay. I didn't really make, if you saw the one that my brother made, he had more of a real handle to it. I decided not to. I decided because it's, I don't know how to show you, it's sort of thin here, but I can't really work. So from this side I could have worked a lot of this wood off, but since the branch is there, I can't work it off, or I need to have it there. And so this part is pretty narrow, and so yeah, you can see the shape of what I make. So it's supposed to be like in your thumb, so you hold it sort of like that. And it lays really good in my hand, so I'm very happy with how it feels. It looks a bit different, but it is a bit different as well. So so yeah, this is pretty much what it's going to look like as well. I just need to finish it even more, and as I said, work the this branch surface, which will be the foot of it a bit more. So that is what I'm working on. Other than, you know, getting back into the rhythm of working, you know, having to keep, what do you say, be places when you're supposed to be there. And also, as I said, I've been out foraging for berries and mushroom as well. So I've had a really good week, even though I don't really have a lot of, well, I do have one finished knitting object or knitted object, and one finished spinning, and one finished embroidery. So I'm not gonna say I haven't had a lot done, because I have, but yeah, whatever. I've also been to the library twice this week, and I've borrowed some songbooks, and just to have, you know, when I've been getting back into the singing, I've been singing some ABBA and some other stuff, and I've just had a really good time singing songs that I know, but I didn't have the sheet music for. And also I've started, which feels really weird, I've started making what do you say, like a material moped car with autumn, and really like music, with autumn songs, which sounds, or which feels really weird because it's still summer. We've had a really warm week this week, and I actually started that material before the vacation. So in late May and early June, studying, rehearsing autumn songs feels wrong, but I need to be prepared. I need to have it done come, well, I don't know, October, I guess. It depends a bit on the weather, so. Yeah, it's been a pretty active week and creative week as well, which I like. I think I'll let you go with that. I don't really have anything else right now. And my parents just called. I just missed, I saw it on my phone right there, so I want to call them back up and see what's up, and then get on with my first weekend since I started working again. Yes, so do take care of yourselves, and get in contact with me if you want to. I'm sjomajlin, as I said. and I will speak to you next week. Bye.